Broadcasting live from an Airstream somewhere in Tornado Alley, bringing you the people, places, and stories from the Panhandle to the Red River. This is your Only in Oklahoma show.
And welcome to the show. Today we're discussing the Classen Inn in OKC, and after the break, are we all hat? I'm Brett.
And I am Harley.
The other day, you called me and said, hey, what you doing? I'm like, nothing. What are you doing? Nothing. What are you doing? No, seriously, what are you doing? And you said, I'm headed to Creek Bottom Barbecue. Oh, good. But you were heading to Creek Bottom Barbecue at 6:20 and they close at 7.
Yeah, I was under the impression that they did not close until 8.
You know what? We do a, just in case you're wondering, we do a travel and tourism show. And we talk about all the time, looking at Google as a we are on an operating system. We're plugged into social media. We're plugged into Google Companion, and you couldn't look and see.
So here's the thing: I was watching a video that this Yahoo had put on the internet about Creek Bottom Burgers and Barbecue.
Yeah.
He didn't mention the hours of operation.
Well, I'm sorry, because the food was probably really good, and he didn't think about it. So good that he went back. That person probably went back. He probably went back before this show, and
so the universe has been yelling at me to go to Creek Bottom Burgers and Barbecue.
I'm telling you.
And I have yet to make it happen.
I went back. I went against my better judgment. I was going, am I going to get a burger this time? Am I going to get the flapjack? Am I going to get the fat bottom burger, which has got 2 patties, all kinds of special stuff on it? And I went with the St. Louis rib dinner. Okay, I got fried okra. When you think fried okra, what do you envision with fried okra?
It's the little dime-sized, coated in 6 inches of breading
that might crumble,
deep fried, and the okra on the inside is typically way overcooked.
Way overcooked.
Yeah, that's what I think of.
They bring it out. I'm looking at it going, okay, maybe they just forgot to cut it. But it's a whole piece of okra, and not some little dinky. Think about the okra pieces. You like pickled okra?
Yeah.
Think about those, or just think about a vine-ripe piece of okra that's been deep fried with the cornmeal batter, perfectly golden cooked just right. Where you bite it, and the breading doesn't crumble off.
That's some high praise.
The ribs were on point. He even gave me. I didn't see the rest of the sides because, again, I go in there and I'm intimidated. Okay, when you finally get around to going in there, the menu kind of comes at you like, food, here it is, a barbecue burger. And it's a little bit of me because I go in and I'm a little bit overwhelmed. I just want to eat. I know it's all going to be good, so I'm just like almost throwing a dart at the wall. So I went with the ribs, St. Louis. I'm not a big St. Louis guy, and I talked to him. I said, he's like, how was it? I said, it's better than Swadley's. He goes, really? Because Swadley's doesn't have a St. Louis rib. And I told him, I said, I like the big beef sticks. That's the kind of ribs I like.
Mm-hmm.
But got a nice little side salad, some okra, a pickle. I mean, I didn't get dessert, but man, you've got to go to Creek Bottom Barbecue.
I just have to be around it during their hours of operation. I did not realize they closed at 7 p.m.
They close at 7. But he was talking to me we were talking about pandemic. He said they couldn't, when it first hit, they didn't know what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
They were selling out and running around like chickens with their heads cut off. I said, well, you've got it down now. I mean, but for a business that's that far down, if you're getting off the highway, unless you know Creek Bottom is there.
Yeah, they are a little bit further than I expected. So when I was driving, I was like, okay, did I miss it?
Yeah.
Did I miss it? I'm still driving. Did I miss it?
Because it's tucked in just a little bit. But if you're getting off the highway to eat, you're not looking for barbecue.
Yeah.
You're looking for, there's a KFC, Taco Bell, there's an Arby's, you got your greatest hits of, Main Street America. The fact that they've hung on through arguably the hardest time for a small business to stay alive.
Oh, yeah.
And thrive. They get a lot of foot traffic. One thing that he said that keeps them going is they've got loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
You've got your regulars.
Yeah.
But getting those other people filtered in is kind of hard. This is why we're here.
But you like the okra.
I love the okra. I would order just the okra.
I'm thinking that maybe the scope of our show is just too big.
Yeah.
And maybe we should switch the show to the OnlyinOKShow show.
Maybe. But I'll tell you right now, Creek Bottom Barbecue, if we're doing the OnlyinOKShow show, they're the king okra.
Top of the mountain, huh?
They're the OG okra kings right now.
I have a place.
Sure.
If you need a place to rest your head in the Oklahoma City area.
Once you've stuffed your body with barbecue from Creek Bottom?
Absolutely. The Classen Inn in OKC.
Okay.
This is a recent renovation
on
a 1963 motor motel. And dude, this is quirky. It's retro.
But it works.
It's got like some nostalgia there, but it's also trippy.
You know what I have fond memories growing up. I would go on road trips with my great aunt Evelyn and Aunt Lucy in the summertime. I spent a lot of time with them during the off season, but in the summertime we would go on road trips. And one in particular, we went to Colorado to visit a cousin of theirs. And I remember we stayed in a lot of those motor inns and the Route 60. You know, so I have a very soft place for motor inns and motor motels.
Yeah, but this place isn't going to qualify as your regular motor inn. Yes, it's a vintage motor inn, but this place is clean, it's hip, it's charming, and it's got a level of novelty that is hard to define. It's right in the heart of Oklahoma City, and it is an experience.
Oh, that's so cool.
You're looking at the pictures now?
Yeah, because I remember when they had just started renovating this, and you know, a lot of people are like, what's it going to be? What do they do? Are they converting this, or what are they doing here? Wow. I am astonished. And at night, I'm looking at some night photos of this place.
It's all neon, and
it looks like something out of Cars, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, it really does.
But it's in a neighborhood that has a lot of history. You can walk in any direction of the hotel, and you're literally just minutes away from, you know, like art scenes and live music and lots of different culinary experiences. Apparently, the building that this motel resides in is a good example of something called Googie architecture, which is shape-inspired by geometry and space-infused design of the mid and early 20th century.
I like a lot of, and you see it kind of driving Classen 16th around those areas where, you know, you see a lot of those mid-century touches that they've brought back with a kind of that mid-century modern, I guess. That's kind of become a thing.
Yeah.
I just love the pop and the colors. And when you're driving by, you don't notice it. But looking at it standing still, man, it is just beautiful.
Okay, so it has 4 rooms to choose from. They're all colorful. They're all different. They all have custom murals, high-end finishes, and contemporary, you know, what you would expect to have available at a nice hotel.
Yeah.
It's one of those places, you know, if you've got company coming into town and you live pretty close, this is definitely a place to put them.
Yeah, and not to mention, well, I mean, unless you're have an aversion to bright colors, like if you're looking for more muted tones, probably not going to be it for you.
This is loud. But also, you know, if you're going downtown Oklahoma City to explore and you want to stay someplace unique, you don't want to stay at the same old places, this is definitely needs to make your list.
It's within walking distance of the Sunnyside Diner. You ever been to the Sunnyside Diner?
I have been to the Sunnyside Diner.
It reminds me. I'm past due for my Sunnyside.
And speaking of food, they do have a snack bar and lounge. A lot of the normal hotel snack items. But they also, it's called the Superette. It has basically everything that you would need to stay in a hotel, but also it's kind of got this almost like lounge feel to it, like a real lounge, and not like
from the 60s type, right? Like a beat, kind of almost like a beatniky
I could see that
vibe. Yeah.
And then in the warmer months, they have an outdoor patio, which is also it looks cool, dude.
And we're right there. We're if we'll ever get rid of the cold snap and the hot flashes, we're right there in the sweet spot for that.
Yes. This place has excellent ratings and reviews on all the websites. They're right there on North Classen Boulevard, 820 North Classen Boulevard in Oklahoma City. If you want more information about this place, go to ClassenInn.com.
Well, Oklahoma's largest cowboy hat, we're about to tip it after this.
I'm Raven Rollins, and this is my Southern True Crime podcast where I discuss cases from my former hometown. Ada, Oklahoma paints itself as an average community, but its history of murder and corruption runs deeper than any story has ever told. You'll hear plenty of special guests, including authors and experts in their fields, who visit with me on each episode, as well as other cases in the southern states. With notorious and unknown cases alike, every victim sees the light on my show. This is Sirens, a true crime podcast.
So this news story is out of KFOR.
Yeah.
Galen Culver says Oklahoma's largest cowboy hat is the perfect fit for this Hennessy Travel Plaza.
You know, Galen Culver would know because he is the guy that does the "Is This a Great State or What" segments and has done it for, golly, 25, 30 years.
So the news is that on Highway 81 at Howdy's Travel Plaza, they have built the world's largest, heaviest cowboy hat.
Really?
Yes. It is built as an awning for their picnic area.
That's cool.
You can see it from the highway. It seems like this is something that seems like this is one of those things where it seems like this is an only an okay thing.
It'd have to be. Texas couldn't pull this off.
So the owner of Howdy's Travel Plaza, Jay Riaz, if you talk to him, he's going to brag about how many pop flavors they have, which apparently is 130. They also have a full kitchen and a host of amenities for truckers. But the one thing that sets them apart is an enormous cowboy hat. It's perched beside the parking lot. He said they wanted to do something different.
I'd say they did it.
They said they wanted a big, giant cowboy hat. We discussed it, and I admitted I'd never built a big hat. Jay said I've never seen one, so that puts us in the same boat. When the owner of Howdy's approached Henry's Welding with an idea for a really big cowboy hat, Henry himself had all the right answers.
So if you're looking, what you're telling me is, if you're looking for a giant cowboy hat, we need to contact Henry's Welding.
Yes. So he took 3 large surplus oil tanks, 1 for the center and 2 for the curved sides. He welded them together. He said he thinks they burnt at least 100 pounds of welding rod on it, building a 10,000-gallon hat.
You get that part though, right? Because I was going to make a joke earlier. Well, this ain't no 10. This is definitely not a 10-gallon hat. It's a 10. Now I know that it wasn't. It's a 10,000-gallon hat.
Yeah. So apparently it's visible from the highway, and they have plans to build a picnic table underneath it and a small dog park around it. I think it's a cool idea.
Yeah. Look, you know what? The fun part about Oklahoma tourism is a lot of times it's kitschy. Hell, Classen Inn. It's pretty kitschy. It's not for everyone, but you can't drive by it and not A, notice it, and B, at least appreciate the craftsmanship and the work that's went into it. Same thing with this hat.
I don't know how many times I pulled off the road or did a U-turn
Because of something.
to take a picture of somebody's weird roadside art.
Listen, when we went to, I'm just using it as an example, but when we went to the Petrified Forest,
Mm-hmm.
that's something that not everyone, how many people do you think miss that driving by?
Oh, yeah.
Just because they're like, oh, that's corny. I like what this kind of thing reminds me of. The Classen Inn, the cowboy hat, every other show we talk about where there's something interesting about the roadside.
Yeah.
This is what we got in the car, got excited about when we were kids. See, if this was 30 years ago, 40 years ago, and we saw a big, gigantic cowboy hat, we'd want we'd want to stay all day.
Yeah, for sure.
Just to look at a cowboy hat. That's what I like about this kind of thing. It brings back that classic Americana. You know, it's like that, like the dinosaur displays on the side of the road, or so. You know what I mean? It just kind of has that roadside attraction.
It's
interesting.
part of the charm.
It's the charm, man.
And it's another piece of the puzzle for adding fun little side destinations and poking fun at or having fun with the idea of the weekend warriors or the...
Okay, you remember... Okay, so when we did Travel Oddities, in our intro, it's when Clark is talking about going to see the world's largest ball of yarn.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing that's what we thrive on. That's what... And again, I know that we're talking to people our age and older when we talk about this stuff, but yes, kids, we're going to go see the world's largest cowboy hat. Oh man is right. And when we get there, we're going to eat bologna sandwiches. And if they have food, we might get some. But we're going to the giant damn cowboy hat. And if you want to know about where all the giant cowboy hats are, the world's largest ball of yarn in Oklahoma, the biggest catfish, or the best place to get barbecue, it's the OnlyinOKShow Show.
Yep.
New shows every week. I'm Brett.
And I'm Harley, and we're out of here.
Peace. What you got? No, I got it. So, okay, let's roll. Okay, let me get to where we need to be. 3, 2, 1.